talk about a topic that's timely and useful. With healthcare open enrollment here, a newly released study has dropped some eye-opening insights. Would you believe that over half of employees are considering a job switch for better health benefits? The importance of health benefits is something on our minds. Here to help us unpack this report and to share her tips on how you can get the most out of your benefits, we're thrilled to have financial expert Winnie Sun. Winnie, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, Desiree. It's great to be here with you.
Yeah, happy to have you on. So, Winnie, we often hear about the importance of healthcare plans, but could you break it down for our viewers? Why is picking the right healthcare plan so essential for our financial health?
Because this is your money. So let's start talking about inflation. I think we can all agree that we felt the pinch of the rise of costs of goods and services this year. The increase in prices on our everyday things like food and clothing and gas and even housing has been huge. So if you've been following the news, you know that we've experienced year-to-year price hikes, and this certainly includes healthcare. So premiums and deductibles have been on the rise, and even the services covered by many health insurance plans have gone up. The 2023 Aflac Workforces Report showed that employers have been impacted by inflation, and this includes impacting what businesses can offer their employees today. This year, more than ever, we got to make sure we take our time and be really smart shoppers.
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about Aflac. You got the Aflac duck right next to you. So let's get into the nitty gritty and those details of the Aflac Workforces Report. What are some highlights and key takeaways for individuals and families?
Well, topping the list this year is employee retention. The Aflac study showed that 53% of employees are at least somewhat likely to accept a position with lower pay if it includes better benefits. You talked about this earlier in the show. The steady rise in benefit costs and concerns about rising costs are causing employers to remain really cautious when it comes to balancing the cost of benefits, keeping employees happy, and more importantly than ever, retaining staff.
And it's fascinating to hear that employees are contemplating job changes for better health benefits. Are there specific areas of coverage that seem to be their top priorities, or maybe even areas of concern?
Yes, and this is an interesting one. Survey responses continue to highlight mental health and well being as top concerns among employees. Employees want their employers to care about them and their well being, and also to provide resources to stay ahead of burnout. In fact, 57% of those surveyed said that they're currently experiencing at least moderate levels of burnout, and one of the biggest things is workplace stress. The overwhelming majority, a whopping 83% of employees who report high levels of work stress also faced other mental health challenges over the past year, which included anxiety, depression, and even trouble sleeping.
That's a large amount. You said over 83%. And in your opinion, Winnie, what are the areas where employees and employers have trouble seeing eye to eye when it comes to health benefits?
Well, I thought this was interesting. I think the quick answer is satisfaction and also understanding. So, according to Aflac's study, 78% of employers believe that their employees are highly satisfied with their benefits versus just 59% of employees who say they actually are. And 79% of employers think employees understand their benefit costs well, when fewer than half of employees say they actually do. So there's disconnect, and this disconnect can have consequences. When employees don't fully understand the details of their policies and healthcare costs, it's difficult for them to prepare for those unexpected medical needs.
All right, we need some solutions. So are there solutions to help with insurance coverage?
There are. So supplemental insurance like plans Aflac offers can really help fulfill a need. That when you consider that half of those surveyed also said they weren't able to afford more than $1,000 in out-of-pocket medical expenses, and one-third said that they were in a worse financial position this year than they were last year. So according to the survey, the majority of employees, 88% with supplemental insurance, say these benefits provided financial security, peace of mind, and yet only 39% of employers say they offer these supplemental insurance options.
All right, Winnie, thank you for this information. And to get more tips, you can visit aflac.com/AWR.